Okay, so I did this from the Oreos perspective, and as people kind of asked, well, what if we took different times from the different characters? And I was like, well, okay, let's go through this. So first we have Darth Maul. Again, we're looking predominantly at the movie, so I'm not going to take anything from the comics. I might take something from something very specific is called out in the novelizations. I might bring something like that in. But just looking at pretty much what we saw in the movies. So of course we're looking at Darth Maul, your awesome antagonist from the Phantom Menace. Then we're looking at Yoda. This one looks like this is Yoda from Attack of the Clones. So as always, as I go through this, if you disagree, that's why there's the comments. If you like. If you don't like, there's the dislike button. And here we go. Intelligence. I don't think it's going to be too much argument that I don't think that Yoda, with his hundreds of years of experience, definitely does have an intelligence edge just over Darth Maul. We don't really see him using a tremendous amount of of cunning or of guile. He's more or less told what to do by his master, and he accomplishes that. Fighting ability. Hmm. I'm going to give this one to Yoda. Part of that is we know that Yoda uses the Ataru style, so we know he's going to be pretty difficult for someone like Darth Maul really to handle. And we've also seen how well he was able to do against Count Dooku. So of course Count Dooku was able to do a pretty good job against a more experienced Obi-Wan as well as Anakin, where Darth Maul did a very good job against Qui-Gon Jinn, killing him, but lost to Obi-Wan. So I definitely would say that I think Yoda, if anything, has a greater array of overall fighting abilities and overall just tactics in that respect. Strength. Darth Maul is someone who is very physically capable. You can tell he's someone who works out. He is in peak physical condition. And we don't normally think of Yoda when we think of these amazing feats of strength. Again, physical strength. Speed. I'm gonna give this one to Yoda. Thinking back to the first time we actually saw Yoda fight, and he was this spinning top of just flurry and energy, and the fact that he is a lot smaller. So like in the world of D&D, he's halfling size, so he automatically gets that additional bonus to his armor class. Invulnerability. Both of these guys are pretty much fighting in robes. I will give the invulnerability edge to Yoda in this respect. And some of that just ends up being, I would say it's definitely his force defenses, if anything else. +2, as we did notice when he fought Dooku. Dooku, of course, using a Form 2 style. He did a pretty good job being able to defend against that. Where we didn't see as much from Darth Maul in the way of defensive strategies. You can tell that he was a lot more aggressive. So I think a combination of the additional force defenses that we definitely will see that Yoda has access to, as well as just his overall style and the fact that he, being a Jedi, is going to fight slightly more defensively than anything else, as opposed to the way Darth Maul would fight. Leave himself open for lots of attacks. Durability. Again, I'm going to give the physical edge on this one to Darth Maul. You can tell that he's someone who has spent his entire life up to this moment getting ready to fight and to kill Jedi. He's not going to stop until he's dead. And we have noticed in more protracted fights with Yoda, he does get kind of winded. Again, that's probably more of just a fact of his age more than anything else. Energy projection. What is their raw ability? This is Yoda. I mean, I don't think, again, anyone's going to really have anything to say about the fact that, when we watch Darth Maul, think about how often we really see him use the Force. I mean, I think he threw like a droid head at a console to open a door. He wasn't someone who was highly trained when it came to the Force arts, because he didn't need to be. Where Yoda is an absolute master of these things. Same with versatility. If you look at what they've shown Yoda having the capability of doing, whether it's foresight, his ability to telekinesis, he just has a much wider array of skills and abilities when it comes to the Force. Again, that's not what Darth Maul was trained for. Darth Maul he wasn't he wasn't trained to be a full apprentice. He was trained to be more or less a Sith assassin. In the way we normally look at the way Darth Sidious tended to choose his acolytes, his apprentices. He was definitely someone who was more in line with a Count Dooku or an Anakin. Someone who had a lot of great physical skill and physical ability that could be easily mentally manipulated. Or in the ways of Count Dooku, someone who had pride that you actually could use as leverage, and someone who was also disenfranchised with the way the Jedi were, as well as had considerable resources to help fund a war. X Factor. I'm gonna give this one to Darth Maul. I think if anything else, if you were to look at a fight like this, I think that the opening salvo is going to be, Darth Maul is going to show up. He's going to take off his cloak. He's going to ignite his lightsaber, and Yoda's probably going to have a few moments of hesitation, like, okay, is this someone I can fight to disarm, or is this someone I'm going to have to kill? Where I don't think you're going to have that much hesitation from Darth Maul. Darth Maul is going to be there to try to kill this diminutive Jedi. And I think that that's going to give him an edge, as well as the fact that Yoda hasn't battled a Sith in quite some time. As Coyote Mundi said, they believe the Sith had been extinct for millennia. So this will be the first time, he's actually come up against somebody like this in quite some time. But at the exact same time, too, I think that, Darth Maul was designed to be a hammer. He was designed to be a cudgel. He was designed to be that thing that's going to just help strike fear into the hearts of the Jedi. Not someone who's going to be able to, handle himself against a Jedi Master. A Jedi Knight and a Padawan, yeah. A Master on the Jedi Council, not so much. But I mean, still, it would also be just a physically cool sort of battle to see. And who knows, now with the world of AI, maybe we can just take some footage that we already have, throw some together, make it look pretty cool.